Welcome to Study Time, a televised home learning program produced by Rwanda Basic Education Board.
Hello students, my name is Lewere Scovia. I'm a teacher of biology. Today we are going to study on Unit 1, which is classification of kingdom animalia. The objectives today, the objectives are to identify the main characteristics of kingdom animalia. Look at this picture here. Look at this picture here. What do you see? What do you see on the picture below? Anyone to help us tell us what she's seeing on the picture below? Yes. Yeah. So get your books and pen and write what you're seeing. All right? Thank you. I see everybody is trying. So on the picture, yes, we are seeing different kinds of animals on the picture. So that one, we call it biodiversity. Biodiversity of animals. What is biodiversity? We're going to look at first some of the new terms or the key terms that we're going to meet during our course. One is classification. One is classification. Let us use this. We have said that in the picture, we are seeing different kinds of animals, the variety of animals, and we call that one biodiversity. But we're starting with a new term, which is classification, that we're going to meet within the course. So let us use this one, though they are not animals or living things, but they are going to help us know our topic today, which is that we're starting with classification. So when you look at these materials here, when you're going to classify things, we are saying that classification is sorting or classifying things into groups according to their similarities and differences. So when we use these ones, let's say we can take them to be examples of the animals that we have seen in the first picture here. There are different animals that we can see: insects, termites, bacteria, fungi, etc. So take examples of these materials to be the animals that we are seeing in the picture. So what are we going to do? How are we going to classify them? When we are classifying them, as we are saying that classification is the sorting or classifying things into groups according to their similarities or differences. When you look at these pictures here, we can classify them basing on colors. Just the extent, the way you see there are differences in colors. We can bring the red ones one side. We are trying to classify them or to sort them out. The black one side. This is classification. We are bringing those ones which are pink one side. So we are trying to sort them out. We are classifying them. We are taking these ones to be our animals that we have seen in the picture. So we are bringing those ones which are yellow together, as well as those which are green together. So this is sorting these. We've taken this one to be our animals that we have seen in the picture. We have tried to classify them according to the color. So we can also as well continue to classify them. We can get those ones which are triangle, we put them together. Triangle, we put them together. We are sorting them out. Those that have similarities. Those that have similarities, we put them together. Those that have similarities, we put them together. So this is what we call classification. So you just group organisms according to their similarities and differences. As I had said earlier, that the pictures we saw is of biodiversity. So biodiversity is what? Biodiversity is the variety, different kinds of life or forms of life on Earth. So we're going to meet another word, which is multicellular. Multicellular means what? Many cells. Eukaryotes means true cells. And heterotrophic, which is the feeding of organisms or organisms that feed on other organisms for their survival. The heterotrophs don't make their own food. They just feed on already made food. So let's go ahead and look at the general characteristics of animals. The general characteristics of animals. As said earlier, the term cell means many cells. All organisms or all animals have got they are multicellular organs. They have many cells. All animals, they are eukaryotic. Means the word means true nucleus. So they have the true nucleus. So their cells are differentiated into tissues and organisms. They are heterotrophic, meaning that they feed on already made food. They can't make their own food. For example, when you look at the green plants, when you look at this picture there, you see the green plants in the first line, in the first picture, where they get the sun, manufacture their food. They can manufacture their food. But when you look below, the cow does not make its food. It's just feeding on the grass. So it is not able to make its own food. So it is a heterotroph. When you look at those animals eating the zebra, so meaning that it is also a carnivorous, it can't make its food. It feeds on another animal. What does it mean? It means that it is not able to make its own food. So it is a heterotroph. So next thing, as I had said, when you look at back on the characteristics of animals, you look at the cells, the cell wall. You studied cells in senior 1. When you remember, they said the plant cell have got cell wall. And those that possess the cell wall, they are able to make their food because they have the chloroplast that will trap the sunlight to do photosynthesis. But for the case of animals, they are unable to make their food since they don't have the cell wall where the cell and the cell soap and the chloroplast that enables them to make their own food. So most animals are able to move. There is locomotion. Take an example of any animal, like a human being, a cow. Any animal is able to move from one place to another one. So they can locomote. That is reproduction. They reproduce. And most of the animals, all the animals reproduce by fusion of gametes. What does it mean? It means that the male has to inject the sperm into the female for fertilization. So they do what we call, there is fusion of gametes. There is fusion of gametes. Can be internal or external, but at the end, they have to be fusion of gametes. They respond to external stimuli. If something like knocks somebody, you have to feel cold, you have to feel hot. That is to respond to the external stimuli. Then, another thing we can talk about, so when we talk of kingdom, in senior 1, you studied about classification. You looked at different kinds of classification, the 5 kingdoms. You looked at the monella, you looked at the fungi, you looked at the plant, you looked at animalia. So, and those ones have got also subdivisions. You have the phylum. So the kingdom Animalia has got the phylum Chordata. It has the phylum Chordata. Chordata, all the animals in the picture you can see there on the left, they belong to phylum Chordata. So based on this, they have common features. They have common features. Those animals you see, as I had said earlier, in the characteristics of animals, we said these animals are able to move. You see, like a human being there on picture E, it has legs. They almost all have legs. They can move. They can move. Even those ones which don't have legs, like the snake, they can claw. So meaning that the birds can fly. So they are able to move from one place to another. So another thing we can look at here is that organism in the phylum Chordata can be divided into subdivisions. Those are 5 subdivisions: the fish, the amphibian, the reptile, the birds, and mammalia. So as For today, we are going to start tackling one by one of the classes. We are starting with the class amphibians. Like those who live near lakes or swamps. Those who live near lakes or swamps, those who live near lakes or swamps, at night, you hear sounds of frogs. It means that they live in water. When we talk of the word amphibian is divided into two words. That is amph and bio, or bians. Amph means two. It means two, or do. What does it mean? It means that the two lives. That is amphibians. Two lives. It means that these amphibians, they are able to live either on water or on land. When you take an example of a frog, as I said, those that live near lakes and rivers, you hear frogs at night in the swamps. It means they are in water. What does it mean? But during the day, as you move around the compound, when you move around the compound, for example, when we get out now and we move around the compound, you will find that you meet, when you are at the playground there, you always see frogs jumping. You always see frogs jumping around. What does it mean? It means that frogs are able, if they are there in swamps and they are there on land, it means they are able to live two lives. That is in water and on land. So another thing you need to know here, that, yeah, as I said, they both live both land and water. So most adults, normally the young amphibians, like the example of the tadpole of the frog, live in water. It lives in water for most of the time. But when the tadpole grows under metamorphosis, it becomes, or it gains the structure, or it becomes like the parent one. So it is able to move on the land also, because but at the end of the day, it goes back. The frog lives in water, comes on land, but when it wants to breed, it has to go back in the water, because to breed from the water. The main characteristics of class amphibia, they have, I think, I told you when we are classifying or when we are grouping things, we look at mostly the external structure. So you can try to tell me, to those who have seen like the frog, you can try to tell me what you saw on the frog, yes? You can try to tell me what you see, if you have seen the structure of the frog, or if I've met the frog going to fetch water. If you have seen the frog going to fetch water or collect firewood, you might have seen the frog. So what is the structure of the frog? Or how does it look like? How does the frog look like? Yes? Yeah, yes, you're right. It has a skin like it has a mucus. You're right? It has mucus. It has no shells, yes? It has no shells. The adult amphibians. So now here, what you have to know among the other characteristics, thank you for trying, but what you have to know among other characteristics of the amphibian is that the amphibians have got the way of respiration. When they are still young, they use gills in water. When they grow up, the adults have the capacity to breathe using the lungs, but as well, they use the skin. So the skin of the adult, of the frog, for example, it has mucus. What is the role of having mucus? It has the mucus or the mucous glands. What is the role of that? What's the role of that? The role of those mucus, or the role of the being moist, is that it helps for the diffusion of oxygen. Because the frog does not have a big lung like that one of a human being or of any other animal to breathe or to get enough oxygen, it uses the skin to get another oxygen that will help it. So the amphibians have got, if you take a good example of a frog, it can breathe using the gills, especially those which are still young. It can breathe using the skin. It can breathe using even the lungs. So the adult female, another characteristic, the adult female amphibian lay eggs in water. Then it goes away. It goes away. The male will come and fertilize the egg. So that one we call it external fertilization. External fertilization. For the case of these amphibians, they don't take care of their young ones. They are not good parents, by the way. They are not good parents because they just come, they lay eggs, they just go, the male comes, powers the sperm, and just goes. The young ones will take care of themselves, so they are not good parents. And so they are not good parents. Imagine when you're still young, you are left there, and you have to cater for yourself when you're still young. It's not easy. So the amphibians are not good parents, I can say. So they exhibit external fertilization, as I said. The female comes, lays egg, the male comes, powers sperm, then fertilization takes place. That one we call it external fertilization. So they have two pairs of limbs. As you saw in the diagrams earlier, they have two limbs, two pairs of limbs. I think for today, that is enough, but there are some questions that I want you to go with at home, and you try to do them in your exercise notebooks. You bring them for corrections when you come back. So the first question is,